broken one of the toughest. Grice belongs to a military police unit. The debate over women in combat is not over yet, but these two young women have broken one of the toughest gender barriers in the military, and it seems only a matter of time before the remaining barriers come down.
Terrence Popp here. I'm going to answer a question that I've received many times in regards to Ranger School and all of these women that have graduated from the course. I'm just going to be honest. Ranger School, for me, was the hardest school I had ever attended in my life in regards to grueling. Back when I did Ranger School, somewhere in early 1990, you could find me on, my picture. If you go down to the lower right, I'm the concentration camp victim. And I went from 168 pounds, I was shredded, probably had 5% body fat, to 136 and just fucking wrecked. All right. I was an alpha company all the way through, and those guys were sadists, and they just went way beyond any reasonable standard that should have been followed for there to be any quality learning from it. It was just, in my opinion, a lesson in how to deal with mental and physical fucking punishment. Looking back on this, how physically demanding it was and how psychologically fucking crushing it was. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around these women that are graduating Ranger School. Now, am I going to tell you that it's impossible? No, but I find it highly improbable, especially that 38-year-old woman, mother of two, that made it through Ranger School. Fuck no, that is absolute bullshit, unless they are watering down the standards to the school to the point where it's just gonna become like a worthless fucking school you go through to punch your ticket, like air.
All right, man. Before I continue, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Of course, Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who is the God of the Hebrew Israelites. Yahweh Shah is the true name of his only begotten Son. Also, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Hey, back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, just on my spirit. I did a video on this a while back with this guy, but it was just on my spirit to hit him again. The whole point of this video, as you can see what the title says, why Babylon the Great will lose the next major war. This guy, former military, special forces ranger, all that cool guy stuff. He's done it, so the man knows what he's talking about. But the whole point is this is a huge reason why Babylon the Great is going to fall. And they're going to, quote unquote, lose these next coming conflicts. It's because they're compromised, man. And they're compromised because they're a bunch of weak, starting with their men. All right, Esau, Edom, they're a bunch of weak men that rather, of course, they're not going to worship Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, but, if you can receive it, they rather worship, the creatures, all right, more than the creator. They rather worship women and children and everything that they're doing. And I do mean damn near everything, from just how society is, how it just caters towards women and children. It's all in the name of keeping them happy, even if they're going to lose their kingdom behind it. And that's exactly what's happening, man. The whole point of the video was how in Ranger School, they were basically lowering the standards. There's plenty of documentation of those Ranger instructors that were out there during the time those females were coming through. If you don't know, historically in Babylon the Great, females weren't allowed to be in combat roles. Okay, but things, have since changed, and this is what we're dealing with. And he was going into that, man. No bullshit. The standards were lowered in many different ways, all right, to fulfill that agenda, all right, which is, basically trying to put these women above the men. And you got to draw the line somewhere. And I'm talking to Esau, Edom. This is why you're going to fall, my guy. You got to draw the line somewhere. It's one thing to play, out in the world when it comes to entertainment, etc., etc. But when you're dealing with the real military, your first line defense against some BS happening in your providence, that's not the time to play. That's not the time to be catering to people's emotions. What is this weak man doing? Exactly that, catering to the emotions of the women, the children, and the people and the men who act like them. Okay, and they already don't have the numbers. The decent men that they have in there now are tired from all the wars they've been fighting, all the deployments. So they're, damn near not any good. And then, you got the funny people, man. So it ain't looking good for Babylon the Great. And then you got a bunch of pretenders, man. That man said, in the beginning of his video that, when he went to Ranger School, I think it was in the 90s, and for sure it was the hardest school he's ever went to. Now you're talking to, like I say, special forces guy, right? Also, Ranger qualified, multiple deployments to combat zones, man. When a man says that was the toughest, hardest thing that I have ever did in my life, you better believe him. I listen to a lot of prison stories. Guess what? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim, I was shot. Oh, it keeps my so-called black behind out of prison, man, because the stories, just hearing it is horrifying, man. And you see certain men when they get out of jail, and for the most part some of them can seem pretty normal, looking on the outside, man, but you have no idea the amount of trauma that man had to experience every night. You have no idea he's seen multiple people get stabbed up, blood leaking out on that linoleum, you know what I mean, every night. You just see them. So I say that to show you the difference between, man and woman. These women look at us, real men here in Babylon the Great, like we're nothing, like we've never done anything, or like we're not capable of doing anything. Contrary to popular belief, it's the exact opposite, man. But this is how it goes in Babylon the Great, which is exactly why this place is going to be brought down to the ground. All right. Because it just caters to BS, man. We're supposed to be worshipers of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, men first. And these idiots, if they knew better, they would do better. Because if you would have just set things in order, all right, everyone else would have to follow. You wouldn't have to have all this bloodshed to get people to obey you, all right? But, Esau being the type of man that he is, this is what he does, man. He uses his own real, actual, see, that's why I was referring to like the difference between like entertainment, all that social media crap, and the actual military. Now you got to cut that crap out and let the boys be boys, man, or else you're going to get your ass kicked. All right. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. And they're gonna go down hard, man, when this war pop off, man. They don't have it. They don't have their strength no more. The Lord done took it away, man. Gave them over to them reprobate minds, man. All right. And now they're just running with like a chicken with their head cut off at this point, especially when it relates to the military, man. And this is Romans. No. Let's go to Daniel. Couple precepts with it, Daniel 7 and 25, and it reads, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, going into our enemy, right? And shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And here's the point: and think to change times and laws, even his own laws, all right, in times, all right, especially the big ones, the alphabet community, stuff like that. The big law that you have to have the MOTB, all these things, man. Esau's going to change. But even going into his military, how I spoke historically, by their quote unquote law, standards and procedures, all that. Women weren't allowed to be in these roles, man. Guess what the idiot did? He's just changing his own beneficial law. That was a beneficial law, not to let them women, be a part of that. If I was a young man and just seeing every time when I have researched like Esau's, military propaganda videos, the army videos, the Air Force. They don't really have a lot of Air Force, but the Marine recruiting videos and things. A lot of times first thing you see smack that, especially the army, so-called black woman, smack dab in your face. I'm telling you, if I was a young man seeing that, and every time I turn on the TV or the phone and I'm thinking about going into the military, and I want to be a tough guy, a real guy, and the first thing I see, and the next time I look, I see the same thing. Eve, right? That makes you not want to be a part of it as a real man. You know, we got to have our own thing. Let the boys be boys. Esau don't respect that. He don't, you know what I mean? He don't even respect his own kingdom because he's letting, you know, the women run absolutely wild, man. But yeah, he's changing times and laws, man, and they shall be given into his hand until a time in times and in dividing of times. And guess what? We are in a certain time where this man is getting ready to be brought down, and it's kind of, I mean, you know, I could care less, to be honest, but it's sad to see a man go like, we rather you know, show some strength, you know, show some fight, and not just, you know, just give up, because that's what he doing. You know, when it comes, I'm speaking specifically on the military side of things, man. It's like you're not even trying no more, man. You let all these weirdos, and see, y'all was a force to be reckoned with through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim and Hawashah, with your blessing, the sword. Oh yeah, Esau's military. Oh yeah, especially when you get up into the higher tiers. Oh, they got some real deal operators, bro. Operate like superheroes, man. But hey, man, those times they damn near over, man. Again, you see what's going on. You got 37-year-old Ranger females now, okay? But I mean, it is what it is. Let's go to Romans 1:25, and it reads, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. All right. Well, let me go up. Matter of fact, that's a lot. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up unto uncleanliness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie. So all the truth that we speak, hey, who the actual Israelites are, this man has been doing this for quite some time, lying. Okay. Matter of fact, let's go to Job 13 and verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. That's the whole point. Ye are physicians of no value. All they do is lie, and they're physicians of no value, man. So it's all this stuff is going to come to naught here pretty soon, man. Okay. And it's going to catch up with them, and rightfully so, man. This is pathetic, bro. This is pathetic. I'm serious. And you deserve a good ass kicking. Maybe you'll learn something from this, Esau. Okay. Because this ain't it. Letting these, you know, women, like I say, and it's all in the name of making the weaker vessels happy. All right. That's why you gotta learn how to be a man from Yahweh Bashim and Hawashah and like-minded men, or you're gonna go out like this, because the women and the children don't know no damn better. They're the weaker vessels, especially you talking about the children. They're weaker than the women. Okay. They don't know anything, especially being raised in Babylon the Great without God-fearing men in their households. They don't know nothing. The women are weak, and this is who this man caters to, man. Debauchery, just everything is upside down, man. That's what they put their time and energy in, instead of actually trying to figure out how to build an everlasting infrastructure. All right, how to get people to do what you want, you know, without having to make things chaotic. That's a real deal psychological, you know. Esau could do that, you know, well, he's going to try to do that with that MOTB and that universal income. You know what I mean? If he was just to do that because he has the money, you know, in the resources, he's just wicked. That's the point that we've been trying to, you know, convey to our people. All right, is that this man just cannot get right. He just do not want to do right. You got all the, and now we all know it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Hawashah, how the story ends. But just looking at it on the outside, looking in, man, it don't have to be like this, man. We all could live decently, you know, right now under Esau Edom's oppression, and you know what I mean. If you can receive it, if he was to, you know, be a lot less wicked, man, this thing could run a lot more smoother than it is. Just take the food situation for an example, the food industry, and how effed up it is, and how everybody in a lot of other countries see there's something poisonous about the food industry over here, man. You see what I'm saying? Man, please, there's so much area and land that could be used for growing food. It's not even funny. All right, this place is jam packed full of woods. Even, you know, there's some place that's heavily dense with population, but the most of the states, man, is, you know, rural wooded areas and etc. You know, at least on this side. I don't know what's going on out there in the desert and stuff. I'm from the South in my captivity. Yeah, man, but it's just this shit is over with. I'm tired of it, and he deserves to lose, man. If that's what you're gonna do, you know, cater towards weaker vessels, then you deserve to get treated like a woman or a child, and that's exactly what the Lord is gonna do to you, Esau, Edom, and everybody that follows suit, man. The Lord gonna bring you right on down, man, and simultaneously he gonna lift us up, man, and we'll show you how to actually be real, you know, male spirits, man, and how to rule and how to have and how through ruling righteously, everybody else is going to follow suit. That's where those multiple wives will come into play. There's not going to be a question as a concern about us dealing with multiple women, because we will have the power. All right. We will have the power. All right. So the women and children, they're just going to do whatever we tell them to do. All right, in righteousness, and they're not going to have a problem with it, because we're going to have the power, and we're not going to have to compromise ourselves like you. This is a good example, Esau. You're a great example, my brother, of how not to be. And that shows you the signs of the times, because here you have the Lord telling us, hey, I'm giving this man the sword and the fatness of the earth. Esau, you had your blessing was the actual sword. You supposed to have the most dumped out military on this bitch. Look at your military, bro. It's hurting. All right. And it can't be healed. I mentioned before, the few remainder men that you have in the military now, they are tired and worn out. You worn them out. Didn't give them enough recovery time, not compensating them enough. You rather give LBJ, LeBron, all right, you know, millions and millions of dollars to run up and down this court for 30 damn years. All right, you see what I'm talking about? And the rest of them niggas in the NBA, millions and millions of dollars to put that damn ball through that hoop. And look, man, it can be entertaining all day, man. But you best, if you're a grown ass man, you better be able to see that ain't nothing but a game. That's child's play stuff. Bunch of grown ass men running up and down somewhere, putting the ball through a hoop and getting millions of dollars. And Esau, you pay your real deal operators, you pay them with breadcrumbs for the most part, in relation to how much you're paying these other people. The pornography industry, $1 billion industry, I believe, if not definitely multi-million. You know, from, you know, real deal production of the porn to, you know, the OnlyFans type shit, where, you know, some females can get, you know, a healthy paycheck just showing their feet. You see what I'm saying? You see how backwards things are? Here you have a bitch that can sit in her house with her ugly ass, you know, toes or whatever, or maybe she got some decent looking feet. Maybe I'm not in the feet. All right. But I mean, I appreciate, you know, if they're straight, but you know, some dudes are really in fetished out about stuff like that, man. And she can sit on her behind, all right, for let's just say a month, all right, a month. And you know, I've seen, you know, that these women have boasted in their earnings, man, when it comes to that OnlyFans stuff, and make a grip. Meanwhile, you got an operator in the middle of a combat zone, doing patrols day in, day out, and you know, again, you give them crumbs, man. Niggas can barely pay all their bills and take care of their families, etc. with those crumbs. You see the type of leader you are, Esau Edom. You're not, which is exactly why you're going down. Now, I'll be honest, man. In relation to the kingdom, nothing that you've accomplished, Esau, was impressive. Now, and that's in relation to the kingdom. I will say you had a good run, though. You know what I mean? You had a good run. I look at, but it's just always been so just effed up, man. Y'all just now, you know, coming into the knowledge and resources to build modern societies. All that old ass New York building on top of building, that ain't it. It's amazing because it's so many big buildings, and it's amazing to see. But hey, that place needs to be brought to the ground. It's a mess. I mentioned the rats in New York. It's a mess, man. All these major cities, man, y'all ain't got it. Nice try though. Y'all had a good run as far as pride goes. I'll give you that. Because looking at it seriously, this place was never functioning efficiently. You talk about the Great Depression and all that stuff. Vietnam over here. World War II. All these things. Man, it was never really a peaceful time like that. Dealing with Babylon the Great. This shit sucks, man. All right. But let me see. What is it? Job 3:4. Yep, go ahead and get that. Isaiah, and this will be the last one. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. And it reads, as for my people, the Hebrew Israelites, being that we are oppressed by this man, a lot of our people act just like him. So this is what happens. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err. And who's leading us, man? All right, it's starting with Esau Edom, man. He's we're still in our captivity to this day. And then it's the women, all right, and then weak men that don't have any strength, willpower. They listen and conform to the needs and wants of the woman and the child. They crash out. I don't want to say crash out first, but men will sacrifice their lives, work until their hands hurt and they're sore, or crash out, all in the name of taking care of that woman and that child or those children. All right, to the point. I mean, King Solomon taught us this through the Spirit of Paul Yahweh Shem Shai. How wicked women are. How there's just a few, good, righteous men on the earth, man. We've seen this already, man. So at this point, bro, the signs are clear. Earthquakes happening in diverse places, man. If you got the earthquake app, man, you should see it's just nonstop. This earth just shaking and shaking and shaking, man. All in relation to Matthew the 24th chapter. These are all signs, man, of the Lord actually being real and actually physically making that second coming. All right. Wars and rumors of wars, man. That's still in play. All right. The false prophets, false teachers, all that's in play. We're at the end of this thing, man. All we're waiting on really is this big war to pop off in the MOTB, or should I say the MOTB in the big war. They'll probably happen very, very close together. But other than that, man, just stay serving Yahweh Shem Shai, and we'll be just fine. We're watching the downfall of our enemies, ladies and gentlemen, and that goes for everybody. 2/3 of the nation of Israel as well. They're our enemies, and we're watching their decline. All right, because they chose to serve the creature, not the creator, which is Yahweh Shem Shai. Our women, they're great at it. Hey, this man give us all these goodies and benefits. All right. We don't have to listen to our man. We'll kick him out, and then once he's kicked out, we'll stomp on his head. Talk about us all day long, man. All right, but your time is coming, man. For you wicked people, that goes for the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, Esau, Edom's entire nation. All right, don't care about a concubine from your nation. Don't care they're going in slavery too. Don't care how fine the Edomite girl is, and boy, it's some nice looking, Edomite women out there, man. But the initial pop off, all y'all are gonna be in some chains, man. It is what it is. You brought this upon yourself. Like I said, you had not in relation to prophecy, okay? But other than that, you had every opportunity to lead decently, Esau, and you didn't. You chose greed, all right? Debauchery, sickness, what's the abomination? All right, that's what you chose to do. Things that are contrary to a healthy, productive life for Israelite, which you wouldn't know anything about now, would you? Hebrew Israelite. But I'm gonna leave it at that through the Spirit. You see it, man. They're lowering the standards, changing things to cater to women and children. It's as simple as that. That's what this thing is all been about. It always has been about the woman. All right, it's all this woman worship. All right, let her do anything, bro. You know what I mean? To the point where the most realest thing that you owned, that was given to you by our Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the sword and the fatness of the earth, the Lord have given to you, and you blew it. And you're going down horrifically. All right. This is going to be talked about, forever. The downfall of this crap. Lord willing, I'll tell my children about how y'all was, just backwards. They'll never believe us. Now, you never believe us through the spirit of truth, man. You know what I mean? But, it's going to be hard to believe how we'll be living in the kingdom, versus how we're living now. So we got to just keep our mind focused on that goal, man, attaining that salvation. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.